People do. What do they usually? They decide, oh, this one wants to be a doctor. Let me throw them in agriculture. This one wants to be a lawyer. Let me throw them in accounting. There's nothing wrong with those careers. I'm just going to say, like, because someone else made the choice for you is the reason so many people are stuck in, they're stuck in that mentality of, I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to pursue this.
Baby, I know it's getting late, and you don't want no way, but I won't waste your time.
Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Stacey Nduta, and on this channel we discuss all matters growth, skincare, and basically just a bit of lifestyle, because y'all, what is life if we're not soft living? So today I'm in a different space. It's a really nice space. It's at Kayana CMS Life, CMS Plaza, CMS Africa Plaza. I'll probably put like a clip over this audio, but it's really like a beautiful space. Kayana Hub is basically a women's business group, let me say that. And the reason I love it so much is because for the longest time I'd wanted to be part of a group of women in business, but apparently I was too young because I remember most of the caps were at specifically they'll tell you need to be like 25 and above, and my interest peaked basically at 22 there, and that wasn't enough apparently. So yeah, and like the video suggests, we are going to be discussing how to stop making excuses. So I stopped making excuses. I stopped making excuses, and I took a leap of faith. For those who watched my previous video on basically quitting work and what not to do, so this pretty much, the next few videos will just be aligned towards that, because I feel like it's an important discussion to try and help people understand that. I've had an amazing conversation, by the way. I'm working on some project and I'm dying not to tell people, but oh my god, so I had an amazing conversation with one of the guests, and she was saying how life is a buffet, and I can relate. I've always been taking the ugali skuma. There's nothing wrong with ugali skuma, it's just that sometimes that's what we do. We don't play what we really want. We want the chicken, but let me just take the beef. It's a buffet, it's free. Like, just pick. So on stop making excuses, and why you need to stop making excuses too. Number one, be proactive. I feel we sometimes end up in a trance of goal setting, and once we hit that goal we want more, and that can be props. People can give you props for that, because you're being proactive. But if you really look, you just like remove the layers and actually look inside, you realize that some of those goals are not even yours. Some of them are to appease some weird idea of what so and so wants me to be like, or what my parents, how they work so hard so that I can get this, so I have to accomplish this specific thing, and the list goes on and on. So what I mean by being proactive is basically hold yourself accountable to what you're doing constantly, like, and I think I'll merge this with be present, because when you're proactive and present, it's a whole different story than if you're in a trance of setting goals, achieving them, but you're not happy. Does that make sense? So something I learned the hard way is, when you're not proactive, other people start setting goals for you. And let me tell you, man, hey, when that happens, guy, it's like the worst thing, because suddenly you have so many things that you need to accomplish, and it's not enough. It's never enough. You're working hard, you're giving it 200%, not even 100%, and you have people telling you, what's happening with you today? Why are you not like this? Why are you like that? Why are you whoa. That form of criticism becomes your form. You start internalizing it as your own voice of self-criticism and criticism. Hey, yeah. And what happens? It becomes like a weird cycle where anytime you're trying to enjoy yourself, and by the way, I have my friends who discuss this with. Shout out Christine. Hi. Yeah, like you start feeling guilty when you just want to relax because you're just there. You're gone, like you're ready, but you're not being proactive and you're not being present, and that's a big mistake that we make. So yeah, that's my first point. It's already painful, but yeah, so that's the first one. The next point for how to stop making excuses and actually just, live a life you enjoy is be decisive. Something I was watching, and I'll put the channel up here because you guys need to listen to this guy. He's called Bilyeu. Bilyeu is the reason I'm doing the kind of projects that I'm doing that I can't talk about, but he's such an inspiration. And he interviews various people and they just talk about life and stuff. But something he said in something I watched recently, what they've been doing, I digress. What they've been doing is they've been taking old interviews and taking snippets and then repurposing them. So somehow I've discovered some content that somehow passed me by. I'm like 2019, how come I didn't watch this? So there's something he said about the power of being decisive. People think being decisive is intuitive, but really being decisive is deciding to be decisive, if that makes sense. So what happens is, being decisive is a skill. It's being able to look at the facts being presented to you and making a decision and running. It doesn't end at making the decision, it's running with it, giving it your 100%. Because what happens sometimes is we make the mistake of, for example, now easily I could have said, okay, fine, I've quit my job, sasa I'll move back home because I don't have salary, so I can move back home. Now because I'm back home, I might have to start thinking about my future. So most likely I'll have to exit the country, or these other two plots people get when your family sees you struggling, they decide that you are going to exit the country. I'll repeat this point. Yeah, I'm sorry about Madina Maigi, technology, but I'm that girl. So what I was basically saying is that sometimes we think that it's the environment that we're in, so we change the environment and then we go out. We could either leave a job, you could leave the country, you could, move out from a roommate or a partner or whatever. So that's usually what we go to first. We decide that is the reason. We associate our feeling of, that unsettled feeling with the place we are in, and then we move. But really, if you think about it, it's your internal environment. So my point about being decisive is when you have a decision to make ahead of you, always remember that there's no wrong choice. The differentiating factor is how you'll go after it. I mean, think about it in any situation. You could have done a certain, maybe you wanted, let me give a common example, and I'll do a full video on this. We do the whole university placement things, and then we decide, I want to be a doctor. And then, what do those people do? What do they usually, they decide, this one wants to be a doctor, let me throw them in agriculture. This one wants to be a lawyer, let me throw them in accounting. There's nothing wrong with those careers. I'm just going to say because someone else made the choice for you is the reason so many people are stuck in, they're stuck in that mentality of, I never wanted to do this, I never wanted to pursue this, I never wanted to be in this career. And before you know it, you've been in that career for 10 years or even more. because someone made the decision that you will do that. And yet there are so many options, by the way, in terms of transferring credits, in terms of going to a private institution, in terms of, not doing university at all. But because of that mentality that we're stuck in, that we have to do this because, we are conditioned in that kind of setting, we just go with the flow. We just go with the flow. And let me tell you, it's a lot. And it's connected to the first point that I gave about being passive. That's why I say being passive first, and then now this one is be decisive. So if you do decide something is for you and you meet an obstacle, what's stopping you? What is stopping you from going after it? Yes, you have a pandemic, but aren't people still making money in this pandemic? Aren't you buying food? You're telling me you're going to stay in the house with your money because it's a pandemic outside? Going to continue living your life, and it's the same thing. The environment outside will always change, but if you align your internal self and just understand who you are, is you getting this vibe? I have so much energy. I'm drinking coffee, and look at this cute cup I have. Yeah, I'm drinking coffee. And I have some energy, I'm telling you, being decisive is just beautiful, because the decision doesn't end at you saying, I don't want A, I want B. It goes with you saying, it ends with you saying, this is how I'm going to get B. Basically, we always say, New Year's resolutions. Oh, this gonna be my year. This gonna be my war. But it's you can say that. But you can't really speak something into existence and then not actually work to make it real. How unless you have two assistants somewhere who are just you have some elves that will just pop up and then will build that life that you want. That's something I learned the hard way, because it happens. You see, and you say it with so much conviction, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're oh, maybe it was not meant to. No, it was meant to be. It's just you not doing it. That's the difference. That's the difference. And today I have a book, by the way. I have points. I'm ready. Welcome to my talk. Are y'all seeing my setup today? I can't love it, guys. I'll be shooting. Please comment down below and let me know if I should be shooting video here, because it's such a beautiful space. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. I've been a member for 6 months, and now is when I'm thinking about it. Anyway, my next point is, and this was actually my leading point for this video. I wanted to do a video on this alone, but I don't want to leave out the men. So I'm going to point this out as use your pretty power. When I say pretty power, by the way, let me tell you, the way people respond to someone they find attractive, good looking, well kept, manicured, or whatever you want to say, is different from someone who just, and please don't confuse this point with do you respect people who look a certain way and don't respect. No, people, watu watakubeba put the translation somewhere here, watu watakubeba venye unajibeba. That is just the summary of that, because if you carry yourself in a respectable way, people will respect you. It's basic math. People mirror you. Let me say that. People mirror you. So if, for example, I am dressed up, I show up at a place, I'm just carrying myself as some high royalty of some sort, people will mirror that. They will, oh, what can we get for you? What can we do for you? Like that. But if you show up at a place, first of all, at a meeting, late, dressed really like you know how you dress in the house. You know how you dress in the house. You're going like that outside. And then you don't even know how to articulate your words. It's not a matter of speaking good English. It's just a way of expressing yourself. And someone told me, someone told me, I'm sure the day he'll watch this he'll know. He told me that the most powerful people in this world do 3 things and practice to do 3 things and do them well. Speaking, writing, and reading. Those 3 things can shape you depending on how you live. And reading doesn't necessarily mean picking up a book. I'm not, reading culture is amazing. I love reading books. I can't stand audiobooks. Maybe podcasts, but audiobooks, not so much. But my point is, people who practice those 3 skills are always on top. How you write, how you communicate, basically, because the expression of, your words are basically an expression of you. And if you practice how you speak, how you carry yourself, what you're reading, what you're consuming, like I've said severally, what you consume is what you input, output kind of vibe. So basically the long point to this point is, when you use your pretty power, pretty privilege, physical appeal, it's not you trying to camouflage something. No. I'm not saying, you need to add, like, for a long time I thought I needed to add weight, baby. I was like, hey, why do I look like this? Maya, I hope you watch this video. Why do I look like this? Where is the food going? I don't understand. I just didn't, the math was not mathing. But after accepting myself and just saying, you know what, let me just love this body as it is. Maybe to get to a point where it just explodes, and then I'll start missing this body. And that's what the mind does sometimes. It I don't want to say it lies to you, but it can deceive you. It can alter your perception, because you can think, oh, things would be better if, but look at it this way. We say things will be better when I finish school. Things will be better when I get my first job. Things will be better when I get a better salary. Things will be better when I get that promotion. Things will be better when I'm married. Things will be better when I... You see, it just becomes a cycle of yearning for the future, and then you forget where you are. So, use your physical appeal. Love that body. Love your shape. And give it your best. If for example, you have these calves and everything, use them. If you want to hit the gym, guys, and get buffed up, because you feel like that will give you your best self, do it. Because when you're operating at your highest potential physically, in terms of you're comfortable with what you look like, imagine nothing can stop you. Because that's something that our mind can keep. That little voice, it will be like, oh, who do you think you are? Or those people who are around you, so full of, hey, because it's something I heard actually when in my past story. But listen, this is worth it. This is worth it. You might even subscribe because of this point. So what the person was saying was, what usually happens is that you can walk around and people will be like, oh, she's so full of herself. That is actually a good thing. You need to be full of yourself in order to overflow to others. Otherwise, if you're serving people from an empty cup, that is why probably you'll always feel drained and stuff. Welcome to my TED Talk. But yeah, basically that's the point about physical appeal. Physical appeal, it's so important. It's so important because look at how you operate, or look at how people respond to you when you look your best, and look at how they respond to you when you feel your worst. Because when you perceive that you look bad, you also behave as such. You're you're just cowardly, you're just meek and humble. You're not placed on this earth to be meek and humble. I mean, you can practice humility in other areas and being modest and all that, but you're not really placed here to be all woye about life. You're supposed to live that life you have in mind, whether it's being on a farm, whether it's traveling the world. It is yours. Ni yako, ni wewe tu. It's literally like here, because God, I don't even know where this, and this is not even the coffee anymore. Coffee, I don't know. Maybe it just opened up at something, but you're more powerful than you realize. That is a quote by the guest I had today. That's so beautiful. And then my next point, my final point. Sometimes the perception that we are different can really get in the way of what we're supposed to do. But something I read was that the reason why you're not the same as the people, in your family, in your area, in your locality, in the place of the world where you are, is because you're meant to change something there. Because sometimes you get so stuck up on, fitting in. I want to be like so and so, I want to be like them, But your difference is your gift. That's something you're perceiving as a weakness right now. Every year, just look at it very nicely. Inspect it. The way you can have something, just inspect it. And you will realize that thing is actually it is what will just catapult you. And it's something we've seen happening. It's like some sort of renaissance right now. People who are bullied because they are albino, people who are bullied because they were overweight, people who are bullied because of a disability. Right now, the spotlight is on them because they owned it. They were like, yeah, I'm disabled. Oh, sorry. Are we even allowed to say disabled? I am differently abled. Yes, I have this difference. I have this thing that you perceive as a weakness. I have something that you don't have and you may not understand, and you look at it as a limiting factor for me or the space I'm in. But that is actually, you see the way when you're playing a game, I don't know. Tell me if you have any gamers in the house. Your avatar has, each avatar usually has different power-ups or rather innate powers. Yes, there are the power-ups, but there's the innate powers. Each character is different because it can do this, it's fast, it can jump like this, it can throw fire, it can call lightning, Raiden, yeah. So just like that. So once you understand that unique thing that you do view as a limiting factor is what can catapult you, you stop making excuses. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't even know how long it is. My phone kept cutting it off. Suji Mara space, Mara messages, y'all. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do remember to subscribe. And just remember, as much as you probably feel like, oh, I'm too this, I'm too that, you're the one who can define yourself. If you feel, for example, that, oh, I'm too this, I'm too that, you don't need to change anything. You don't, oh my god, you guys need to go watch the movie Soul. Soul needs to go down in history as one of the most beautiful animations I've ever seen. I watched it recently. I don't know why it took me so long, but that movie is basically a testament of you coming to earth and trying to find your purpose in everything. You're here to live life. You're here to enjoy it. So think about it. Anything right now that you're making excuses for, why are you making excuses for it? If it's a career you want, if it's a partner you want, if it's a child you want, if it's, for example, a business you need to start or need to jumpstart, if it's a community you want to tap into, if it's a book you want to write, if it's somewhere you want to travel to, if and when, God forbid, you get to your deathbed, what will have mattered? Will it be that, oh, you managed to do something because someone else would have been hurt their feelings, or all those excuses we make in our heads about why we should people please and why we should be in a cocoon or a cage or a golden cage or whatever kind of cage that you feel that you are in right now. Will it be worth it? Will it have been worth it? Just ask yourself that, and I think I'll just close off from that. Yeah, so thank you so much.